What's going on, family? Welcome back to Israel's Movie Reviews. And today we're going to be discussing Liam Neeson, one of my favorite actors in the world. His new movie called Blacklight, and it just came out recently. And was this a good movie? Let's get straight into it. I feel like Liam Neeson's name used to mean something. Obviously, he was a terrific actor. Even before the Taken series, the Cold Pursuits, Unknown, he's known for a lot of action flicks, and he comes from, a long line of pretty good actors. And I remember him in the Schindler's List, where it wasn't my type of film, but he was critically acclaimed in that movie, and then transitioned as he got older to these action flicks, which we enjoy a great deal. But ever since 2019, it seems like Liam Neeson has made starring movies that are mediocre action thrillers somewhat of a habit. Starting with Cold Pursuit, which wasn't the best thriller ever. I think that's when he started to fizzle down. But with its black comedy and serviceable performances, it was unique enough that it warranted a viewing, Honest Thief and The Marksman were two films that I have begun to dislike more and more as each passing day. Honest Thief took an interesting concept and destroyed it with bad acting, incomprehensible editing. It was piss poor, infrequent action sequences. The Marksman, it was just boring. And let's not even mention The Ice Road, which is one of the most embarrassing things I've seen from him. Second to a lot of other bad films that necessarily he wasn't in. But with all that being said, Blacklight is kind of a remarkable film. Remarkable that it was released in theaters instead of straight to DVD. I know this movie was going to be bad on one specific thing, and that was because of its director. It was directed by Mark Williams, who also directed Honest Thief, which wasn't a great film. I should have taken Mr. Williams' name as a stark warning for me to avoid seeing this in the theater, but instead, I said, you know what, let me give this a try. Just like anything else, with time, give it a shot. But Blacklight is less than an action film, even though it's marketed as one. And it's more of a political thriller. And when I say political thriller, I mean it's a movie where people have long, drawn-out conversations about politics, politicians, political espionage, and conspiracy regarding, i.e., this is a boring movie. I found myself struggling and failing to stay awake watching this, believe it or not, and I haven't felt like that in a while. Blacklight is not an action movie, It definitely takes you by surprise in that aspect. It is a movie where two people at a time, literally, always two people at a time. The movie barely has any sequences where there's more than two people speaking or talking to each other at the same time, which is odd. Maybe it was just too expensive to film more than two actors speaking to each other at once. And they talk about dull and uninteresting topics, even sometimes not even related to the movie. Mark Williams seems to not realize what makes dialogue engaging to watch. I feel like scene after scene, Blacklight depicted people about conversing. Now some of my favorite movies are full of interesting, tight dialogue, and this movie is by far, not that. But you don't care about the conversations, really. You're going to see this movie for its hard-edged, brutal action, right? It's a Liam Neeson film at the end of the day. You want to see him get down and dirty and do what he does best, and that's kick ass. In that case, you should go to your local Best Buy and buy Taken, which was his best film to date, and watch that instead. Blacklight does not have much action in it, believe it or not. And when there's action, it's mostly mediocre, generic, pedestrian action I've seen since, the Kung Fu film I made in YouTube back in the day that never got released. One compliment I give this action film is that it was edited slightly better than Honest Thief. When Fist are thrown, you can see the hits connect, which obviously that's what I want to see. And the climatic gunfight is mildly exciting. And then it's ruined by a drastic random change in editing that turns the sequence into a borderline seizure-inducing chaotic mess, seriously. If you have epilepsy, you're better off leaving the theater at the start of the third act where there's a gunfight, and don't even come back, seriously. Nowadays, going to watch a Liam Neeson in the movie theater is like returning home to an abusive spouse. I swear, they might end up surprising you with moments of genuine love and tenderness, but more often than not, they'll beat you into submission. And that's Blacklight. You know, beat it me into definitely submission. And in fact, considering placing a restraining order on this director. This movie was atrocious. And what gets me upset is Liam's name used to mean something, you know? Especially when action films, man, you're talking about this man starring in The Commuter, Run All Night, Nonstop, the Taken franchise, Unknown, you know? And now seeing him decline, you know, he's going the Bruce Willis route. He's more of a direct-to-DVD guy now. And I think he should stop while he was ahead. You know, he did a lot of action films, but in conclusion, I give this movie a 5 out of 10. You know, take your chances. Go watch this in the theater if you want to, or just wait till it comes out on Hulu or any streaming service out there. And that's my review on Blacklight. If you have any questions, if you want to shoot me down in the comment section and let me know how atrocious this movie was to you. Let's have that conversation. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, share this video. If you want more content from me, all you got to do is subscribe. Peace.